Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Buds and Blue Jays. I'm your host, Jesse Burrell, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Riley McConnell. And Riley, we mentioned on our last episode that my Yusei Kikuchi jersey just came in, so I was so excited to go represent. I took the day off work, I got in my car, I drove to Toronto, and I went to see my boy Kikuchi pitch. And man, let me tell you, it didn't go the way I wanted to, and I bet you it was my fault. I wore the jersey. Kikuchi probably caught a little much for him, and he couldn't perform well. So the jersey is now on hiatus until the Cooch can find his groove yet again. And I know we'll touch on him a little later in the episode here, but we've got the Vladdy jersey back up on the wall now, and we'll keep that one going until the Cooch can find it again.
And I'm sure he will find it again. You picked an awful game to go to, and it has nothing to do with you. The baseball gods just did not like you say this day. And you know what? I give you credit, Jesse. Not a lot of people have Yusei Kikuchi jerseys. It looks good. You look good on your post in heaven wearing it and supporting your guy. But yeah, he took a crap. He took a crap kicking against one of the worst teams in the American League, and that's baseball, I guess. What can you say? We split the series with Baltimore, and we move on, Jesse. We move on.
Yeah, a little disappointing, don't you think? Splitting a 4-game series against the Baltimore Orioles. It seemed like it was going to go good. We lost the 1-1 game there, but we had Gausman going today. We thought things are going to go great for this team, and it's just, it's painful splitting the series against the Orioles here. Game 1, Jays took care of business in that one. They looked really good. They won 11-1. Manoah was terrific again. The offense was tearing it up. We had 19 hits off Orioles pitching. Springer, Bo, Vlad, Teo, Espinal, Gurriel, Tapia, all with multiple hits. Game 2, the Cooch was not loose in this one. Jays lost 6-5. Kikuchi gave up 4 walks and 2 home runs over his 4 innings pitch. Gabriel Moreno did his part with 3 hits and his first 2 RBIs in the big leagues. And Matt Chapman came back from injury with a home run and 2 hits in that series. Game 3, the Jays won that one 7-6 in 10 innings. Vladdy had a 4-hit day, including a home run and a walk-off single after the Jays bullpen kind of gave one up late in the game there. Barrios kept up his good stuff with another 7 efficient innings. And Game 4, the one that just happened this afternoon, Kevin Gausman kind of fell apart in this one. 5 earned runs and only got 7 outs. We had a home run from Teo, and Vladdy made an appearance at third base this game. So after this series against the Orioles, the Jays are now 37-26. We're 9.5 games back of the Yankees in the AL East with a big series coming up against them next. So Riley, lots of things to go about here. Who gets your first thumbs up?
I mean, got to give it to Vladdy, right?
Absolutely.
That's how I feel right now. We tore it up in game 1, and then we got lit up in the 4th game of the series. And in the middle there, we had Vlad Jr.'s first career walk-off. Yeah. He gets the ghost runner on second base and drove him in a hard hit ball like Vladdy does. Yeah, for me, he gets it, man. Vladdy at this part in the year, he certainly doesn't have as many homers as we would like, but he absolutely destroys baseballs and hits them hard. And he did that in, at least 3 of these 4 games. He's still hitting the ball hard. I mean, what else can you say, man? He's our franchise player. And you know what? My thumbs up will be position players, and my thumbs down will probably go to pitchers. That might be the trend. But for now, Vlad, first thumbs up for me, man.
Absolutely. Isaac kind of nailed it coming on our last episode here, saying, you know what, Vladdy's going to really heat up. He's going to want that spot on the All-Star team. He's going to want to defend his All-Star Game MVP title. So good series from Vladdy, and kind of quietly, he's on pace now for 42 home runs again, which is pretty much what he had last year, right? And it kind of seems like he's underperformed so far. So, hey, good stuff from Vladdy. Good to see he's back. He's still here. He's doing his thing. So thumbs up for me as well. I wanted to give my next thumbs up to the wonder kid, Gabriel Moreno. The kid is here, Riley. I know we talked about him in his debut in the Tigers series, and he didn't play in Game 1. He didn't play in Game 3, which I really do think he should be playing more. But he looked like he belonged. He had 3 hits on Tuesday night, 2 clutch RBIs. He had another hit in the game here today. And he also threw out Jorge Mateo, who is the 3rd fastest base runner in all of baseball. And Gabriel Moreno just popped up, bam, threw him out. Guy looks like he belongs here, and I'm hoping to see a lot more of Gabriel Moreno going forward.
I'm sure we will. Jansen, no real word on him yet. Obviously, the 10-day DL, and we're in Team Moreno right now. I mean, he is one of the most sought-out catchers. Obviously, the other one being for Baltimore right now with young catchers in the American League. Moreno's going to do it all one day. Obviously, it's his rookie year. He's getting his cup of coffee or whatever you want to call it right now. The kid is good, and you can see it in the way he plays the catcher position is something I never did. I appreciate a guy who can snap a ball off as fast as he can and make accurate throws. He looked good, man. He looks comfortable. He's got veteran-like poise for a young kid.
All right, Riley, who gets your next thumbs up?
Oh boy, I want to give a part one here. You know what? I'll just say Chapman gets a part thumbs up. He played really well in the one game. And kind of a thumbs down for him going back to being considered day-to-day right now. Right. I got a little part thumbs up. Manoah was great in his start. And Barrios was all right in his start too. It's the offense. It's another part one would be Teo for me. His power is coming along just great now. And he's someone in our order that we need to be driving in runs, and he's doing that.
I'm with you there. Matt Chapman, I think he had 2 home runs in the series. He almost had a third. He hit one like 413 feet that was just caught right at the track too. I was there. I thought it was gone for sure. Teo as well hit a foul. Not only did he hit one 461 feet in this series, he also hit one deep down the line and left that just went foul. So Teo seems like he's back too. And Alek Manoah actually had the strikeouts back in this one, as you've kind of noticed from Manoah starts so far this year, that the strikeouts really haven't been there, but they were back here. And I think Manoah has just kind of realized his stuff is just so damn good and that people can't hit it. So he's just going to pound that zone with his sinking his slider and his two-seamer, and just guys aren't squaring it up. They're not making hard contact off Alek Manoah. So therefore he can be really efficient and pitch more innings. So I think that's great to see from Alek Manoah.
I would say he's been our best starter, man. I mean, he has making a real case for being one of the best pitchers in baseball. And he's got it all lined up for him, man. He wins ball games. He's a big game pitcher, and it's his second season in the big leagues. I mean, he's definitely been our best guy so far. I feel like every time it's been positive with Alek Manoah. It's just been straight positive with him, man. And yeah, if we're gonna win this division, I bet you it's on account of him pitching, 20 winners this year, something like that, because he's getting our wins, man.
He's on track to do that. Another note on Barrios too. His last 3 starts have been his 3 best starts of the season, and he has quietly had quality starts in 5 of his last 6. Now, the one that wasn't a quality start, he got destroyed against the Angels. But hey, 5 out of 6 quality starts, that'll work from Jose Barrios. It's good to see him back here. Now, I would like to see him do it against a team that isn't the Royals, Tigers, or the Orioles, but you can only pitch who's on the schedule against you. So excited to see how Barrios does in his next start too.
So am I, man. And we did split a series against the Orioles, man. And we just talked about the thumbs up. It's time to talk about everyone's favorite, the thumbs down. Yeah. And I didn't say this to you at the start of the episode, but he's been slowly getting more and more thumbs down for a season trajectory for me. And that's Jimmy Garcia. Okay, honest to God, man, I feel like I am not comfortable when he pitches. I know he's a high leverage role guy. I just don't know, man. He gives up big hits. He gives up a lot of home runs. He gives up a lot of extra base hits. And I feel like he is slowly making he's working himself out of a job. And I know we'll talk about another guy who's working himself out of a job in our bullpen. It seems to be a problem right now, man, is these middle relief guys on our team. It's kind of, a big problem, because I want you to say that your next guy who you have the same opinion on.
Yeah, I'm getting worried here about Trevor Richards. I just want to make the point on Jimmy Garcia. He's good, but then he has those odd blow-ups every now and again, right? Like he had a blow-up here. He had a blow-up against Cincinnati, I remember. But for the most part, his numbers have been okay. The odd walk or 2 here. So I'm not ready to pull the trigger on Jimmy Garcia yet. This stuff just kind of happens. But with Trevor Richards, though, let me tell you, I'm ready to pull the trigger on this guy. We talked about him a few episodes ago, and he hasn't gotten any better. His ERA is over 5.59. He has a negative WAR of negative 0.4. The main culprit for him has been a career high walk rate at 12.2%, and only 7 of his 28 appearances this far, he has not allowed a base runner. And for a reliever coming into the game, that's quite bad for Trevor Richards. I know he was an important part of this pen last year, but I think he's at risk at being DFA'd. If the Blue Jays decide to bring someone up, it could be Trevor Richards off of this roster.
Yeah, he's certainly on the chopping block for that, man. It's definitely not Garcia. I just don't like. He's kind of going down the same path for me that Richards was, and I'll call that out now before it blossoms into a bigger problem for Garcia. But for Trevor Richards right now, the problem has been duly noted, and he has not improved his season stats whatsoever. And that blows me away that only 7 out of 28 appearances have been, without a base runner. So Richards is kind of a guy who gets the 7th inning, right? And sometimes the 6th. And then in lower leverage 8th, 9th innings, maybe he gets to go in there. He's a guy that we can use a lot. I mean, he's a durable guy, and it's hard to put a guy into a game when he's almost guaranteed to either walk someone or give up multiple hits, because that's what happens. So it's a 5-3 ball game. We got the lead. We throw Richards in, and he puts 2 guys on base, and now he's responsible for those 2 runs, and they could come across, man. So that's just a situation where, Richards either shape up or ship out for me, man.
You know who else kind of needs to shape up a little bit?
A ton of players, man. But who's your guy?
Kevin Gausman. What the hell was that today? Our high money guy against a bottom 5 offense, and on paper we should have won this game quite easily. But Gausman just didn't have it. He only got 7 outs, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 walk, and 3 Ks against the Orioles. This is the 3rd underwhelming start in a row that Gausman has had after his dominant first month. And I have a quote that Kevin Gausman gave after the game, and I'm going to read it to you and tell me if you think this means anything or something we should pay attention to going forward. He says, quote,
"Okay,
I just didn't really have the energy today to kind of keep going. For whatever reason, I was just really tired out there. It's embarrassing, to be honest, just to go out there and do that against a team I think we should have beat." So, Riley, what the hell does that mean?
That's a whole lot of, is he blaming it on tired? Get a good night rest before your start. I mean, you get 5 days off afterwards, pretty much. Like, it's a situation, and Kevin Gausman knows this, that, he's being looked at quite heavily. Like, oh, wow. Now, it's not 1 or 2 starts in a row. Now you got 3 bad starts in a row. So now you're kind of under the radar. You're not under the gun yet. Kevin Gausman is far from, in trouble of losing jobs or starts.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be here for a while still.
Oh, hell yeah, man. But now it comes to, now that he is used as a starter every 5 days, if this is going to persist, he's just going to cost us ball games, right? He's going to get his 32, 33 starts this year with us. Knock on wood that he, is healthy the whole 162 games. But yeah, if it persists, then we're certainly going to lose ball games because we haven't been winning them with Gausman, and he is someone that we brought along to this team who looked. We were so high up on him when he started this year, and now he's kind of, fell to the wayside a little bit. But I expect him to bounce back a little bit. Maybe we do expect him to actually walk guys and, give up some runs here and there. Maybe he's not superhuman, but I certainly hope that he goes a little more than, 2 1/3 innings and things like that, man.
I do have a stat on Kevin Gausman. I'll bring it up a little later in the episode that might make you feel a little better. We'll see. We'll get your reaction then. I had a thought while watching this Orioles series that when the Orioles took the lead in these games, they were bringing in like a Felix Bautista, their closer. I forget his name, but he came in and threw gas. And that's something the Blue Jays just haven't really had, is these random these almost nobodies, quote unquote, that can throw like 97, 98. Like, aside from their closers like Roberto Osuna, Ken Giles, and Jordan Romano, when was the last time the Blue Jays had a middle reliever that could just throw gas? Right? I feel like it's been a long time since like Jason Grilly, maybe, and maybe when Aaron Sanchez was in the pen. Like, who was the last time the Jays had one of these guys?
Grilly, for sure, when he was, our setup guy, and definitely Sanchez. It's been a while, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, it seems like a blind spot in the Jays' development that they just, like, if the Orioles can find these guys, why can't the Blue Jays find these guys?
Yeah, well, Jesse, maybe we should go after a guy. I don't know, man. Now we're on to the bullpen conversation again of arms, and we were just talking about Richards, and I was on Garcia. Maybe he isn't the really big issue, but maybe the problem is velocity. And traditionally, Jesse, relievers throw harder than starters. We know this, man. And it kind of messes with the timing. If you face a quality starter for 7 innings, and then in the last 2 innings you got a guy who throws 97, and then say the closer throws 100, so you're basically moving up the ladder in velocity the entire game. And Garcia throws just as hard at Barrios, maybe a scotch harder, but there's not much discrepancy in the velocities between our starters and our bullpen.
Yeah, which I think might be something the Jays look to add on here. Or maybe if Nate Pearson just comes up and throws gas. I don't know. We're going to move on to our news and notes here. As you might have seen, Hyunjin Ryu is headed for elbow surgery and is officially done for the year. Still no word if it's officially Tommy John or if it's just some reconstruction surgery to his elbow. But either way, his season is over. And if it is indeed Tommy John, that means he's not going to be back until, I'd say, August at the earliest of 2023, probably September. And that's pretty much putting an end to his Toronto Blue Jays career. So, Riley, I'm going to ask you, do you have a favorite Hyunjin Ryu moment, or what's your main takeaway from Hyunjin Ryu as his time with the Blue Jay?
Mine was how well he did in the shortened season. He did really well in the 2020 season. And not to take away anything, Ryu just didn't do it for me as a Blue Jay. I've seen a lot of pitchers come and go out of this organization, and yeah, Ryu had one great year for us after he pitched really good in the National League West for many years where he had just extremely low ERAs. And we got that for 1 year and then didn't get much out of it. But hey, Ryu's one of those guys, he started his career late and later, he didn't come up as a 23-year-old. I'm pretty sure he was an international pick and played, 28, 29, 30, something like that. I wasn't a big fan when we signed it to begin with, just because of the age factor and the term we gave him. And was I worried something like this would happen? No. But yeah, I can't poo-poo him too hard, man. He was a good starter for us. It's just he's had a bad last 24 months with us, or 18 months with his ERA and now injuries. He'll definitely be missed by some. I personally won't miss him that much. I think he's a very replaceable guy. That's honestly my takeaway. I don't want to poo-poo it. It sucks anytime a guy is potentially, getting retirement from an injury, but he's up there in age anyways. And if he doesn't come back like a Tommy John after Tommy John surgery, he's not going to find work in Major League Baseball.
Which sucks, because when Hyunjin Ryu was on, he was good. I remember watching those 2020 teams, and Hyunjin Ryu was just carving people up sometimes. It was amazing to see the type of swings people would get on him. It does suck, and I'm gonna miss Hyunjin Ryu. I liked having him around. I was really excited when the Jays did sign him, and like those big time contracts, they're usually front loaded with production anyway. You usually get your best seasons right away, and then they kind of tail off, and that's what's gonna happen here with Hyunjin Ryu. We'll miss you, man. Hopefully he has a feel good story and maybe wins comeback player of the year at some point.
That would be excellent if he did. My hope is just that he is. I know his elbow might not be healthy, but just him in general, I hope that the surgery goes well, everything like that, and he stays a healthy person. He's good. I loved him as a Blue Jay. Just that sometimes, man, I wasn't big on his performance. That's all.
Right. Some other news and notes here. Ross Atkins said, quote, "We will consider deadline acquisitions and trade opportunities to bolster our starting pitching depth. As we did note, Ross Stripling is now moving into the starting rotation and will be for the rest of the season." Nate Pearson pitched 2 more innings for the Buffalo Bisons. He gave up a home run, but was otherwise solid. 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, 4 Ks. And in that same game, Maximo Castillo, who was just called up from AA, pitched 4 shutout innings too. So keep an eye on that name going forward. Atkins was asked if the Hyunjin Ryu injury changes their plans for what Nate Pearson is. And he said, quote, "Not really. A bulk inning reliever role still seems likely, but if he hits the ground running and is as dominant as we think Nate Pearson could be, there is a chance he makes starts for this team."
I like it. I'm more up on it. It's good to hear that. I don't care if he gave up a home run in AAA. That's fine. His numbers sound good. And like you say,
is the good thing.
For a guy with his velocity, and I've been notorious for a lack of control, wow, Pearson hadn't been, Pearson not walking guys is huge, because that's been his kryptonite for why he's not a top 5 starter for this team right now. And if he can hone it in, if he can reel it in, man, I would love it if Pearson could start games for us, let alone being a stretch guy out of the bullpen. Pearson's got the tools, man. We know Pearson. I know you're big on him, man. Mm-hmm. I'm not as big on him, but I do know what he can do, man. And I do hope that he'll come aboard here at some point this year, maybe in the next 3, 4, 5 weeks. And he's going to get some innings out of the pen, a long release style. And let's hope and see what he can do for us, man, because he could be an exceptional tool that we use and need this year.
I think it might be sooner rather than later, too. We see Nate Pearson. Some other news and notes. Julian Merriweather was placed on the 15-day IL with an abdominal strain. Jeremy Beasley was back up in his place. Matt Chapman is still dealing with that wrist injury. He played 2 games, but had to be out of the lineup and wasn't available to pinch hit today. So hopefully it's not too long for Matt Chapman. Bo Bichette took a foul ball off of his foot and is considered day-to-day. And Dan Schulman got in touch with Buck Martinez, and he said, quote, Buck is feeling pretty good, and treatment is going very well. Buck still plans to be back in the booth later at some point this season. So I guess no real good news, but it's good to hear from Buck Martinez and that he's still playing.
That's excellent news from Buck Martinez. He obviously is a big part of this organization, man, and glad to hear it.
All right, so Riley, I've got some random stats for you. I'm going to spit them up, and then within, give me a 15, 20-second answer and tell me what you think about it. Right off the top of your head. You ready? Sounds good. Let's go. Kevin Gausman has a 356 BABIP against him, which is the highest in the American League.
That's yikes, man. I don't like that.
Yeah, usually BABIP is like representation of bad luck because once the ball's in play, it's usually a bad thing. So you'd think that's going to regress, but his start today, let me tell you, that number got worse.
Yeah, I know, but it's not going to, like, you just think, Jesse, like, but it can't get that much worse, can it? Like,
right.
Like, when bad things happen and it's like, oh, could this day get any worse? Could these numbers get any worse? And yes, theoretically they could. I don't think that they get worse for Kevin Gausman all along the board, man. I think that he's due for an eight shutout innings or something good for him.
Yeah, I thought that was just going to come today. That's the thing.
Yeah, I was hoping it too. It would have been great, but
all right. Well, Adrian Hernandez has been closing games for the Buffalo Bisons. He has 6 saves on the season and a 1.04 ERA. He's 22 years old, and he throws a screwball, which is pretty sick. And it sounds like he's been whiffing bats like crazy, too. He could be an impact piece for this bullpen if the Jays need another guy sooner rather than later.
Well, if he throws hard and then he's got a screwball, I don't know how too many guys who throw a screwball. That's pretty 1950s stuff. That's right up there with the spitball and the scuffball for your deception tools for you people who like the old style pitching. But yeah, it's interesting, man. And a guy with that age, we'd say this, pitchers take longer to develop. A lot of them do anyways. Don't rush a guy in the bullpen.
He's getting outs though. That's the thing.
He's getting out, and hey, like this episode, I'm pretty sure you'll tag this episode, and I hope you do something about the bullpen, because listen, we need some sort of solution here, and if that's a solution to one of our problems, then by all means call the kid up. Let's see what he can do.
Adam Simber is on pace for 18 wins, 23 holds, and 8 saves this season.
That's unbelievable. I don't think he'll get 18 wins. No, double-digit wins. Double-digit wins would be awfully cool for a relief pitcher. Listen, Simber has been excellent. I saw you tweeted, there's no way something about Adam Simber getting MVP votes.
Sure.
Let's put it this way, Jesse. I don't like how the MLB and the writers choose certain awards, but the Relief Man of the Year award, which is given out to closers, it's predominantly given to closers. A setup guy winning it would be big, but if any setup man in the league is winning it, Adam Simber would be an excellent choice for us, man.
On that. Yeah.
Like it'd be a nice piece for him, man. He's done really well. He's been probably one of my favorite. Bullpen arms. He's probably been my favorite bullpen arm this year, just because I feel good when he comes into a ball game, man. And again, not Gausman. Garcia doesn't throw exceptionally hard, and that's a kind of a guy I wish threw 99. But Simber, I like how his low velocity just induces the contact it does. I think that he is a great addition. But I'm going to go back on say this one more time just to drill it through the topic of this episode. If we got a relief pitcher that throws, 96 to 99 miles an hour, I think that would go perfect with who we already have in the pen, thus being Romano and Simber right now. I think that would be perfect. But yeah, Simber, excellent guy.
All right, Riley, I got a few more. Let's try to move through these really quickly, all right?
Yep.
Since May 1st, Alejandro Kirk has a 428 WOBA, which is 7th best in all of baseball. 7th best. This guy needs to be playing more.
Yeah, I wish we could have 3 guys behind the plate most games. The guy doesn't strike out. The guy walks. He gets on base. He hits the ball. And now he's hitting the ball with power. And Kirk's done well, man. He's got to be in our lineup. If he's DH, and that's fine. Give Moreno the innings behind the plate. Yeah, Kirk is awesome. He's going to be an all-star, man. He should be an all-star.
Hey, so you remember Joe Biagini?
Oh, yeah, I know Joe Biagini.
So he's pitching for the Bisons right now, and he was just named the Bisons Player of the Week. He had 2 starts, 1 relief appearance, had a 2.08 ERA, a .71 batting average against, and a WHIP of 0.23. That's Joe Biagini.
Well, there's another guy who was a bullpen arm for us in a kind of a rough patch where we didn't actually have real pitchers. Just kind of brought guys on. Biagini did all right. He's kind of having his second life now. Mm-hmm. He's having a second life with us, and you know what? Good for him. Again, I would rather see a younger guy. He got a lot of chances with us in his first stint, and now he's just kind of an organization depth piece right now.
Kevin Biggio's on-base percentage is the top 50 of all of baseball, and it's actually second best on this team behind Alejandro Kirk. Matt Chapman has the lowest WOBA of his career, but his expected WOBA, which is based on his quality of contact and launch angle, is the best of his career. So Chapman's getting extremely unlucky. And remember, Matt Chapman has some 7 WAR seasons in there. So I don't know. I still think a big thing's coming from Matt Chapman. And last, I want to touch on Santiago Espinal, and here's where he ranks among AL second basemen in many categories. His .290 average is the best in the American League. 788 OPS is third. 61 hits is first. His 17 doubles are first. He's got a 2 Fangraphs WAR, which is first. He's only made 2 errors on the season, which is tied for first. His 6 outs above average is second, and defensive run saves, he has 4, which is fourth. Sounds like an all-star to me.
I was just going to say that. You're reading these numbers, and in my head, I keep thinking all-star, all-star, all-star. He deserves it, man. He basically, and good for Cavan to come back the way he is, but there's no way that we can get rid of the Espinal in the lineup, man. He's so crucial. He should be an all-star this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if he finished the league, finished the year, as a silver slugger for a second baseman. Ooh, man.
Wow.
I know that's a spicy take, but you got to think, man, where he ranks. I mean, silver slugger isn't always the guy who hits the ball into the seats. If he floats around the average he has right now, and second basemen traditionally have not been good hitters. Mm-hmm. It's the shortstop in the middle infield who's probably the better hitter. Espinal has a real good chance if his average keeps coming up and he puts a couple more balls into the seat, maybe 15 home runs. If he ends the year anywhere close to 15 and keeps his average the way it is, I mean, I can't see a reason why he, isn't in the nominations for a silver slugger.
Well, Riley, after the disappointing split against the Baltimore Orioles, the Blue Jays are welcoming in the New York Yankees into town for a 3-game weekend series. Game 1 is going to be Ross Stripling against Jordan Montgomery. Game 2 will be Alek Manoah against Jamison Tyone. And Game 3 will be Yusei Kikuchi versus Garrett Cole. Riley, how are we going to do? What's going to happen?
Oh boy, man. I mean, I hope that we get a lot of good luck. We've had a lot of bad luck in this in the last couple days against Baltimore. And we need this, man. I would take 2 out of 3. I feel like this is a series where we could get blown off the map in one of the games and then put up some crooked numbers ourselves. Listen, the Yankees got a guy who's on pace for 60 home runs. Garrett Cole is Garrett Cole. The Yankees are a scary team. I mean, there's no question about it, man. They're the hottest team in baseball right now. They got good starters. They got great hitters. It's up to us, man. We need quality starts, man. I hope your boy Kikuchi can compete in the season or series finale against Garrett Cole, because we're going to need him to go 6 or 7 innings to compete with that guy over there.
You know what my take here is? The Yankees have overperformed by quite a bit so far this season, and I think that regression is going to hit them all at once. I'm saying Manoah does Manoah things, Ross Stripling and Jordan Montgomery get into an offensive battle, but the Jays pull that one out. And I'm going to say right now, Yusei Kikuchi outduels Garrett Cole and has a better start, and the Jays sweep the Yankees at home. And this is the start of the run and for the Yankees collapse coming right now. How do you like that for a take?
I think breaking news, you've heard it here first, folks. Jesse Burrow calling the big Bronx collapse, and the Blue Jays will slowly make their way up the ladder. I love the enthusiasm, man. I'm on your I'm on your corner, man. I would never make a call as bold as that, man. But you know what? Let's see what happens. If Manoah does Manoah things, yeah, we know what can get it done. Stripling has been hot. Kikuchi, you got to be on your A game. That's it, man. And we got to get big hits. Vladdy's coming around. I bet you Teo has a big blast in the hit. He has an extra base hit in this series for sure, man. Against Montgomery, I think we kill Montgomery, but I think maybe Stripling runs into trouble. It's going to be an exciting series, man.
Absolutely.
The Yankees are an exciting team. Let's not kid ourselves. I do not like the Yankees, though. I hope we thrash them.
Mm-hmm.
If you are correct, Mr. Burrow, that would be amazing. I'm saying we take one or two out of three. I don't think it's a sweep either way, but if we do, Jesse, you're going to look like the smartest guy in the world.
Well, that'll do it for our episode here today. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe to the show on YouTube. And if you're one of our listeners listening on Spotify, be sure to give us that 5-star review. You know, we're building up a little crowd and a little bit of a following here, so we'd love to keep that going. The NBA is wrapping up. The NHL is in the Stanley Cup Finals, so soon it'll be all systems go for the Toronto Blue Jays. So make sure you buckle up with us and ride with us as we go all summer long. Riley, it's going to be a real fun summer. Anything to throw out before we get out of here today?
It's a hot summer. Yeah, I want to, because it's a platform where we can say whatever we want. My Colorado Avalanche are going to win the Stanley Cup. I couldn't be happier about it. My favorite player all time, Joe Sakic, will win a cup as a general manager. He did it twice as a player. And yeah, love Colorado. And obviously love the Blue Jays. And you heard it again. You heard it here first. Jesse Burrow predicts 3 out of 3. And just a slaughtering on the Yankees.
Let's go. It's about time. Good to see you, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Let's go Blue Jays.